Hey there. Thanks for taking the time. I'm Stacy Nonamaker, and this is a Supporter's Toolbox. One of my dear friends is enduring what no one should have to endure, her 5th round of cancer treatment. When I was talking with her on the phone last week, hearing the excitement I heard in her voice when she talked about her garden, I was reminded of the story of Viktor Frankl. For those of you who have not heard the name Viktor Frankl before, he was a great psychiatrist who, along with his wife and his parents, was deported to a Nazi ghetto in 1942. His father died of pneumonia from the ghetto's deplorable conditions, and soon thereafter, Frankl and his wife were taken to the Auschwitz death camp, eventually with Frankl being transferred to 2 additional camps, separating him from his mother and wife, both of whom also died. During this ordeal, Frankl came to believe that the only way he could survive and maintain his sanity was to embrace a sense of meaning and purpose. He was fond of quoting the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, who wrote, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow." For Frankl, meaning came from being a psychiatrist and physician to his fellow prisoners. I think we can learn so much from someone who has endured so much and still had the ability to focus on things that made those negative experiences more bearable, like a gardening. Some of you may be asking yourself, what is meaning? And as Frankl has asserted, meaning is discovered rather than invented. That is, meaning is individualized and unique, and it is up to each one of us to find our true meaning. In short, when we think about finding that meaning, we think of finding a reason to exist. You see, we know having a meaning or purpose in life is connected to overall health, happiness, and life satisfaction. We also know that it acts as a positive influence on resilience for those not so positive or unhappy times that inevitably pop up in our lives. Interestingly, most of us are on, though, this constant pursuit of happiness. But Frankl tells us that this is self-defeating and shouldn't be our intention in life. Rather, he says we should have a reason for happiness, then happiness happens automatically. And that reason is having a meaning or purpose in our lives. Since research shows that some people with mental or physical health issues may struggle to feel like their lives don't have meaning, it's important as supporters to create ways to help them find their meaning, to be very, very specific about it. When people are unable to find meaning, or when they lose or outgrow the meanings that they once had, because this does happen, they become troubled as a result of a failure to find meaning in life and to make life worth living. I'm not saying to make finding meaning a goal. It must be a side effect, if you will, or of other goals. In fact, some people conducted an online survey of more than 8,000 people across the world looking to assess this concept of meaning. And the results really reinforce that people who are actively searching for meaning in their life had lower life satisfaction and happiness. So these findings tell us that this meaning, perhaps elusive for some, comes from opportunities and finding it in other things we do, perhaps without even looking for it. So how can we wrap this up into the support you provide? Simply put, meaning can be found by creating work, loving others, and or adopting a modified attitude toward inevitable struggling and suffering. The people we support often have long and undesirable histories, ones that may have been stressful beyond the imagination, ones that may have been oppressive, and ones that may have simply put the person in flight or fight mode for most of their lives. While ensuring people feel safe and loved is so important, and at times as a supporter, focusing on ensuring the person has their most basic needs met is important. But more importantly, considering how someone brings meaning to their life to make all those negative things suck a little bit less is a small but impactful change you can make in how you support someone. So consider how you can support and work with the person by doing things like creating something like art or a project in their home, developing relationships, especially in the places that the person frequents the most, finding purpose in pain or struggle through reframing negative experiences by finding the positive or silver lining. And I know that's not always easy. By embracing freedom and choices and find the meaning in any situation. Again, here's where there is so much importance placed on self-determination, autonomy, having choice and control over our lives. And finally, focusing on others and stepping outside of the, as I'm going to call it, woe is me box. Focusing on some of these things will, as Frankl says, allow someone to find the true meaning of their life through activity and engagement in the world and with others. I leave you with this question today. What is the person you support doing this week that can be a potential pathway to finding their true meaning? Again, thanks for taking the time. I know you're busy. Hope you took one thing away that can make today a better day for the person you support. Bye now.